Big question for Marco Sturm, though, which might not be answered this year. Who is the captain? Who is the captain of this team? And does it matter? Like, are you one of those guys who's like, I don't really care if they have a captain or not?
It seems like, when we ask people, it's kind of a 50-50 split. I feel like there isn't too much of a front runner for this. I think after last year, when McAvoy was hurt and Pasta put up another 100-point season in a brutal season, I think Pastrnak would maybe be the favorite right now. You want your captain to be on the ice, and unfortunately, McAvoy hasn't been available too much in his career. I do, seeing McAvoy play in the Four Nations last year, I thought he stepped up huge. His teammates loved him. He had a big hit on McDavid that led to a big swing in that game. And I think that's what you need in a captain sometimes. So, if McAvoy has a healthy season, I think it's a toss-up, but it's kind of like, hey, prove it. Who wants to be the captain this year? And if you have another 100-point Pasta season and McAvoy gets hurt, I think that tells you who it is. If McAvoy stays healthy and plays like he can, that'll be tough not to give it to him. But I think it's a 50-50 split, and I kind of like them saying like, hey, we don't really know who it is right now. Don't just force it on someone just because you need to put a captain on there. I think there's only 2 teams in the NHL without a captain now, or I'm not sure if the Bruins are the only one, but I kind of like it.
Right. I think that's right. I don't think the Ducks have a captain.
Yeah.
The Rangers now do. They didn't have one, but they do now.
Yeah. So this season has a lot of question marks. So I like the message like, hey, we don't have a captain right now. Let's see who can step up. And it's a new leadership group too. So there's going to be a lot of things to watch this year. And McAvoy and Pastrnak, they've been learning under Chara, Berge, Marshy for almost a decade now. So
yeah, that's what concerns me. Not that they were learning under those guys, but that they've been here for a decade, and we can't say that one of them is the captain. Because, like, I agree with you. If you don't have one that you're like, that's our captain, then don't even do it. Like, I think that's fine in a vacuum. But yeah, that's what bugs me. So McAvoy is about to be in year 10, and Pasternak's about to be in year 11, and we don't know which one of those guys is the guy, then it's probably neither of them, And it's funny, like it was a big Zdeno Chara week here with the announcement of his number getting retired. And it's like, that's a dude who came in right away and completely reset the Bruins and had the captaincy right away. Like day one, he set a new standard. And it reminds me, because if I had to pick between these two on the current team, I'd pick Pastrnak. Because again, he's on the ice, like you said. I thought he showed really good leadership in the back half of that season when things were going really wrong. He was the only one performing. And you see it around the league, these guys who maybe aren't the most vocal in the media or anything, but are the face of the team, and they become the captain, right? That's Connor McDavid. That's Austin Matthews in Toronto. Like, they're not all Rasmus Dahlin's. Sidney Crosby's got both of those things, right? So that would make sense. Face your franchise, he's your captain. But then I think, man, the last time the Bruins did that was Joe Thornton. And I don't know if he was a bad captain by any means. He certainly wasn't a bad player, but the Bruins did not go anywhere with Joe Thornton as their franchise player or their captain. So that does worry me a little bit too, if it ended up being Pasternak's. I wouldn't have been surprised if they kind of went outside the box. Like, because those two didn't separate themselves, I was really thinking for a second, like, could we see Nikita Zadorov as the captain of the Boston Bruins? Like, would that have been crazy?
It would have been, I think it would have shocked a lot of people. And he leapfrogs 2 people that have been here for a decade. I was considering, I was going to ask you who you think should be the third A. And I think Lindholm was wearing the A in preseason, and he wore it in the past too when people were injured. No, Hampus. And I thought Zadorov I thought it was me, Zadorov or Lindholm, to wear the A this year as well. It would have shocked a lot of people, but I wouldn't say it's crazy. I thought his leadership showed last year in a season where there wasn't too much grit
Yeah.
and things to root for. There were games, when he was punching Sam Bennett in the head. That was maybe my top 3 moment, maybe my favorite moment of last year.
That's
A
probably,
season
probably
full of
moment of the season. Yeah.
in a season where there weren't too many good ones. But he stepped up from last year, and I could see him being an A. I just don't think I could see him being a captain. Um, we'll see what happens this year. If he steps up again and McAvoy and Pasta, don't take a leap with their leadership skills, maybe that's something that happens. But I think that would be a stretch.
Yeah, because like everything in his career does point to him not being a captain, by the way. This is what his 7th team. Like he's bounced around quite a bit for a former first round pick, hasn't really stuck anywhere, but yet everywhere the people like him, right? Vancouver, like they were like, damn, do we really have to let him go? Really? And the players have responded to him this year. You heard a lot of Bruins players last year, I guess, 24-25, talking about mentioning Zadorov, especially when things got really thin and hairy there at the end. He was punching Sam Bennett. He was calling out Jeremy Swayman when Jeremy Swayman maybe needed a little bit of calling out. And himself, we talked about Pastrnak doing this because it was much more obvious, but Zadorov got better as the season went on. And like he was leading the league. He might have still led the league in penalty minutes for the season, but just brutal for the first couple of months of the season. And then when the roster really got thin and Zadorov was playing more and more, like he really stepped up. And this is a dude that I want to like so bad. Like I've never wanted to like a Bruins player more that I don't really like than Nikita Zadorov. Like big dude, can absolutely nail guys, fighter, sticks up for his teammates, better skater than people give him credit for because he's so massive. I kind of needed to I need him to put it all together if we're going to be on a 5-year deal here.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
played well with Yogi Haru, who we also re-signed in the last half of last year. So I think it'll be good to see him. I think they're going to run back that pairing this year too. So you have Yogi Haru and Zadorov both locked up for the next 3+ years. So if they could kind of build a good tandem between them two, and Zadorov does exactly what he did last year, I think their defense could do very well this year. And like I said, that's going to be one of their biggest strengths, and we're going to need them to pull through because we can't give up too many goals this year.
Mm.